Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my newly updated bookshelf tour. So this will be like two-part bookshelf tour because I'm gonna do the one here at my house where I have most of my books and most of my shelves. And then when I get back to school, I will also be setting up that bookshelf and then I will show you guys what that one looks like. So it's mainly just my shelves here that will have most of my books, but I do have some at school, so I will show you guys those as well. Um, It'll be similar to my other ones if you've seen the other bookshelf tours where I just kind of go through and show you guys what books are on each shelf and why I kind of put those books on that shelf. I don't love how I organize them, but I don't really know how else I could have organized them based on the books that I have currently. So it could change. Like in the summertime, I might move things around and stuff if I can find like a better way to organize it. But for now, this is what it looks like, so that's why I wanted to give you guys a little updated tour of it, especially since, you know, I've gotten new books recently and things like that. But yeah, and if you guys want to see what books I brought with me back to school, because I'll just be showing you what's on my shelf, but if you want to know what was here and what was already there and stuff like that, I will have a video on my Instagram, with the books that I decided to bring with me from here back to school. I actually brought quite a few this time. I was like, no, I'll only bring a couple, and then I was like, girl, you have a whole shelf, why not just bring some? So I did bring more. Oops. But yeah, that's what today's video is, and I hope that you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting with this shelf first, which is actually the first shelf I ever got in my room. So I have made this my fantasy shelf. Besides Fourth Wing and the Empyrean series, that whole thing has its own shelf, which we will get to later. But this is my paperback fantasy shelf. So all of the books that are staying here that I have, fantasy-wise, that are in paperback go here, plus my dystopian novel Divergent, because I didn't know where else to put it, and I was like, yeah, kind of fits, whatever. And then my hardback fantasies go on this shelf, and then my Zodiac Academy series has its own shelf currently. In the future, when I get more fantasy romantasy books, this may not have its own shelf, but for now, since it's such a big series and it already takes up like half, 3/4 of a shelf, it's just getting its own for now. But I have, it's hard to see, but I have my little like 3D printed dragon up on the top shelf as decor. And then I also have this crown that, it's a long story about how I got this. It's prom related, but I was not prom queen. But that goes on the shelf because, again, I feel like crowns also fit the fantasy vibe. Usually there's some sort of royalty going on. And then my friend Cassidy got this for me for my birthday. They're so close together, so I'm pretty sure this was for my birthday. And I thought it was super cute. I know she got it off of Etsy, I'm pretty sure. So if you guys want one, I would look up Etsy. But I thought it was super cute, so I also kept that on this shelf since, again, it's fantasy related. And then on this shelf, my decoration is my Legolas Funko Pop. I know I don't talk about this a lot because I'm more romantasy than just fantasy, but I love, love, love the Lord of the Ring movies and the Hobbit movies, and so I really, really want to actually read the books, so I'm going to hopefully get through at least the first book this year. I'm not going to make myself say I'm going to get through all three because I know that Tolkien's writing is going to make me want to throw the book out the window. I know that he probably is going to talk about a tree for about 5 pages, and I'm going to be like, sir, I understand what the tree looks like. But I love the movies, and so I really want to read the books because I know that books are always better than the movies. So I'm really excited about that. And I finally have the books to go with my little Funko Pop. And the reason I have Legolas is because I love him. Like, he was probably one of my first, like, movie crushes or whatever. Like, I remember growing up and just being obsessed with Legolas. So I saw that one day at, I think it was Books A Million, and I was like, oh, you're coming out with me. You're coming out with me. I would like to get more, but for now, that's all I have from that series. And then this shelf, I have my purple Jellycat dragon that I got in London. I just put on top since one of the main characters in the series is a dragon. Well, can be a dragon, but also can be human. They shift, so. And then this other dragon that I got from London. It's a rubber ducky, but it's also a dragon. So I put this on that shelf as well because you all know I love dragons and there's lots of dragons, and you'll see more later on in the video. But that is my fantasy shelf, which is probably my most specified shelf and probably the most organized and decorative like I like. I think there's one other shelf and then like half of another shelf that's kind of similar, but this one I'm pretty sure I will be keeping the way it is unless I need to move it for like other books to get added or something like that. But this is my fantasy shelf. Okay, I'm down here. I'm really short, so you're only getting my head, but that's okay, for like a clip. But this is the next bookshelf I'm doing. You can kind of see this one too, but we're not focusing on this one yet. Focusing on this one. Also, don't mind my vanity being a disaster. I'm currently in the process of packing to go back to college, so things are a bit of a mess in here, so don't mind me. But here, I have to kind of lean this up for a second. We have a bunch of ducks and turtle decorations up there. Not really that important. It's just knickknack stuff up there. And then this shelf is not all of the special editions that I have, but they are some of my favorite special editions slash, how do I explain this? I have some that are elsewhere, and I'm not saying that they're not like, oh, like those I don't like. Like, I do like them. It was just like the way that things moved out and whatever, these special editions just all fit together. So they go here. Plus my Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte and my Jane Austen complete novel. Little textbook thing, because it's not little, it's huge. But that is this kind of first shelf. And then the second shelf is my Magnolia Parks universe and my Anna Huang books. So again, Magnolia Parks series, the Twisted series, and then the first book in, I don't know what she's calling the new series, but The Striker and all the books after that are on this shelf. And then I just have a little cloud squishy thing that says read more books, because, you know, of course, read more books. Okay, at a more normal level now. Pretty much the rest of these shelves are all kind of just miscellaneous. These were kind of books that I didn't have room for on other shelves the way I did them, so this just kind of became, the last three shelves are kind of miscellaneous, so I'll go through them quickly. We have Iced Out by C.E. Ritchie, I think is how you pronounce the last name. Then we have Darling Venom by, what is her name? Parker S. Hunting, that's it. And then Through My Window and Through You by Ariana Goody, who wrote the books, but then they're also a movie on Netflix. I think there's 3 of them. And then Delilah Green Doesn't Care, The Last Letter, The Things We Leave Unfinished, Work It Out, Boys of Brayshaw High, Out on a Limb, Make You Mine, Him, and then Normal People by Sally Rooney. So again, a miscellaneous shelf, but also just like some books that are either series and I don't have all of them, or I have like only like a book or 2 by that author, so like they're not with the other author. I know that Rebecca Yarros is on here, but I don't want to put her romance stuff with her fantasy stuff. I know that sounds stupid. I'm not, so that's why she's over here and not with like the Empyrean series. But I did want to keep them together, that's why they are the same shelf. And then I'll move the camera down for the next one. Okay, so this next shelf I have If I Fell in, not if, I Fell in Love with Hope, and then If He Had Been With Me, and If Only I Had Told Her. Just, I guess I was like, oh, let's just put the sad books together, you know. And then I have my special edition of Archer's Voice, and then the little playlist that went with it here, and then it's kind of hard to see, but it's called Meet Me in the Blue. That book is just kind of helping this stand up and stuff like that, because it didn't fit on any of the other shelves. Like, this is full and that was full, and I was like, okay, we're just gonna put you here. It was also kind of a sad book, so, you know, it fit the vibe. And Archer's Voice has some sad stuff, so it's okay. It kind of fits, right? I'm gonna tell myself it kind of fits. And then the next shelf is hard to see. I can't move my thing down any farther, so I'm gonna have to tilt it, so I'm sorry if it ends up being a little wobbly. And my leg is in the way. So basically we have some Lynn Painter books, and then we have a Christina Lauren book, and then the Inheritance Game series, the first 2 books in that, Pachinko, and then The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments. The Frida McFadden Housemaid series is there as well. The Upside of Falling, Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, and Daisy Jones and the Six. So again, more of just a miscellaneous shelf. I didn't really have room for it elsewhere and just decided, you know what? They're just gonna randomly go here. I didn't really have too much of like a system for the last 3 shelves. This one definitely had more of a system just because I wanted to be able to display the Archer's Voice. Because it's so cute. I didn't love the book. I mean, it was a good book. Like, I don't, like, regret reading it. It just wasn't the best thing ever. But I love the cover. It is so cute. And, like, the whole book itself just, like, is such a cute little book. And I do adore the cover. And like I said, I don't regret reading it. It was a very good book. It's not, like, one of my top reads of, like, ever. So, whatever. Okay, on to the next shelf. Also, sorry if it feels like I'm going really fast. I feel like I'm talking really fast. I just know that sometimes when I film bookshelf tours, they end up being like hours long of editing, and I'm really not trying to do that this time. So if I'm talking too fast, I'm really sorry. These next few shelves have a bit more of structure, so it might be a little bit slower. With those ones, I was just kind of like, well, it just kind of fit, and so it kind of went there. So it wasn't as much structure, so there wasn't, you know, as much to talk about. But anyways, next shelf are my cubes. So we have my Heartstopper little collage here. So you can see the cup very well, and you can see Charlie and Nick very well. And then I have a little Eiffel Tower that I got while I was in Paris, which goes with it if you've read or watched the TV series. So I have that little collection up there, and then some other knickknacks behind it that you can't see, which aren't really that important, so it's just whatever. But then, like I said, I have my little collection going on here. So we have Heartstopper itself, and then the Heartstopper fan cards, which unfortunately I had a video on TikTok showing all of these, and no, TikTok's gone now. So I don't know if you guys want me to. I can make another video with showing you guys what all the cards are. But if you guys want to see a video of that, I can either do that on my Instagram, or I can do it on here with like YouTube Shorts. I've never used YouTube Shorts. I'm sure I can figure it out though. So if you guys want to see what the cards actually look like, please let me know down below. I will happily make one of those videos. It would have to be when I get back because I'm leaving today. It would be more like March when you would get it. But if you would like it, I would make it when I got back. And then my other Heartstopper University books. So we have some like novellas for the Heartstopper series, and then we have Solitaire and I Was Born for This by Alice Osman. And then I'll just move over here. Then we have my Becca Mac shelf. So again, I have special editions on the top of that shelf. Those I just felt like didn't look as well with how I set this up, so that's why those went up there instead of over here. And then same thing with actually wait, no, hers are here. Oh, the Icebreaker's up there. We'll get to that too. So we have the original covers that are the discreet original covers, not the male original covers. Have not got my hands on those yet. Haven't. So I got those three, and then the Simon & Schuster paperbacks of what they like now look like. And then my little signed Blackhawks hockey puck from, I think, was it Andrew Shaw? I think that's who this was that signed this one. We have a few in my house, and I know he signed one of them. I just can't remember if it's this one or not. And you can't ever tell whose signature is what. So I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's who that one was. I miss if you live in the Chicago area, or if you were just a Blackhawks fan during like 2010 to 15, it was prime Blackhawks hockey, and I miss it, and with my entire core I just miss it, and now we just kind of suck, and it's really disappointing. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna move this down so we can show the next three shelves. Okay, so then we have my Hannah Grace shelf. So I know there's a lot. I'm obsessed. I can't help it. Don't judge me. So we have the original Icebreaker with the pink spine and the old series name, because she actually changed it to the Maple Hill series. It used to be the University of California Maple Hill series, but she shortened it, which I think makes sense. But I have the original one of that, and then I have my Arc of Wildfire that I was sent by the publishing company when that came out, and then I have my UK versions of Icebreaker and Wildfire. So again, they're all the same book written wise, it just has different spines and slightly different covers. I know some people think I'm crazy, and you know what, I am, and that's fine. Like, don't tell me you all don't enjoy it. I know you do, so don't be lying. And then we have my probably Smut Book Box special editions of Icebreaker, Wildfire, and Daydream, and then the like original OG Icebreaker, Wildfire, and Daydream of in the US. But this Daydream is actually signed by Hannah Grace as well, so slay. And then this is my Penelope Douglas shelf. So we have the original covers of Bully, Until You, and Rival in the Fallaway series. And then randomly one day I found out that the covers were different now. So now I'm a little sad because I can't get the rest of them unless I buy them off of someone, and I haven't been able to find them in like good condition, or if they were in good condition, they were expensive. So still looking for those. I've only read Bully, and it was actually a 5-star. I actually loved it. And I think because I liked it so much, I've just been nervous to go to the other ones because I'm like, but it was so good. And like, what if the other ones aren't as good? So I just haven't gotten to those ones yet, but I do want to. And then I have my Probably Smut book box special editions of Troye Six Venom and Five Brothers, which I used to have the original cover of Troye Six Venom, but I sold it because I had already read it and it wasn't my favorite book in the world. And I was just like, you know what, it's okay. Like, I can sell it. If I want it again, I'll just get another copy. And then they were coming out with their new book, Five Brothers, and Probably Smut was like, hey, for like a few extra dollars, you can get this one too. And I was like, slay, okay. So added those together. And then my Devil's Night series, so Corrupt, Hideaway, Killswitch, Conclave, Nightfall, and Fire Night, which I have read Corrupt and Hideaway. I have not gotten to Killswitch, or the novellas, or Nightfall. We'll get there. Don't worry. And then we have my After series over here, which it's kind of hard to see. I'm just gonna have to like really, but I have the like cartooned, like, what do I call them? Graphic novels. That's the word I was looking for. Of the After series as well here, the first 2 volumes, and then the actual like books themselves. I know, moving the camera around a lot. I'm so sorry. If you guys don't know, which you might not if you're new, the After series is what got me back into reading. I read a lot as a kid, and then I stopped reading just because, like, I don't know, I got busy with like volleyball and doing all these other things, and so reading just like kind of wasn't even like a thought in my mind of things I could do. And then the After movies came out in like I think 2019, and I was like, oh yes, that was amazing, let me read the books. And I read all of those in 3 days. Let me tell you, I was like not able to be reached for those 3 days, but I really enjoyed them, and that was kind of what kickstarted my reading. And then obviously once we went into lockdown in 2020, it just like gave me the perfect opportunity to read, so then it like even more kickstarted. But yeah, and then the bottom shelves, again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to lean the tripod. I'm sorry, it just doesn't go any farther, and the shelves are only so tall, so just bear with me. It might be wobbly, I'm sorry. Okay, so next we have my Elle Kennedy shelf. So we have the original covers of the, well, the original female covers, because I know that there are male covers, but these are mostly the ones that people have. Of the Off Campus series and the Briar U series, which I have read all of Off Campus except for the Legacy, which I will not read because I was told it ruins the series for you. Like, certain characters do things that piss people off, and they're like, they would not have done that. So I won't be reading that one, but I have it for the collection. And I've only read The Chase and the Risk. I have not read The Play and the Dare because I started reading, like, I had read them so long ago, and so I just like haven't gotten to it. I will, I'm sure, at some point. I just haven't yet. And then this is the first print run with the blue sprayed edges of the deal because it is my favorite in the series. So I did want that, but I wasn't going to spend the money on the whole thing because I already have the whole thing. And it wasn't like, I do love it, don't get me wrong, but it like didn't have the same connection, the whole series itself. I loved the deal, do not get me wrong, and I loved the score, but the rest of the books were just kind of like, eh. So then we have my Emily McIntyre shelf. So we have the Hooked, Scarred, and Wretched, which are the first 3 books in this series. And I have the like indie published versions of those, so that's why I just kind of put them like this. And then to make it like look kind of nice, then I put the Bloom versions of the last 3 books because these weren't indie published. So Twisted, Crossed, and Hexed. And then this is my Running Back to You cover edition, that you like, these can't be bought at a bookstore. You can only buy it from her store when she has it on sale, which is usually only like once a year, I think. So that was a slay when I got it. So that is my Emily McIntyre shelf, and then this shelf is just, I have a Peanuts collection thing. So basically these are Peanuts and like Snoopy comics from like, I want to say like the 1960s to the early 2000s is what it dates to. So I have that, which I got that from Half Price Books. I'm not gonna say how much, it was a little pricey, but for what I think it probably could cost elsewhere, it was a great deal, I think. But yeah, you guys know, well, maybe you guys don't know. If you don't know, I am obsessed, like probably an unhealthy obsession with the Peanuts crew and Snoopy and Woodstock and all of that. My grandparents started this fuel as a young child. They loved that stuff, and so they were always, you know, having that stuff around the house and everything. And then my parents also liked it, so like then they also were fueling it, and you know, things just happened, and here I am obsessed now. So if you guys are ever seeing blankets and stuffies of Snoopy and things like that around my apartment or in my room, that is why. I have an obsession. I'm sorry, I can't help it. You guys all know, because you all probably have book obsessions, like you understand. So but yes, that is my like cubes per se, my third bookshelf. But yeah, let's move on to my fourth shelf, which is my second to last shelf. Okay, so now we're moving on to the fourth shelf, which is my sports romance shelf. So obviously, if it wasn't on the last shelf I showed you guys, which was more author related like collections, slash like I didn't put the Striker here because I didn't want to split up Anna Huang, which maybe in the future I would, if like just the Twisted series fit perfectly with like another series on a shelf and the Striker was like, well, where do I put it? Then I might separate it, but for now, since it fit up there, I'm leaving it there. And then the shelf over there, if there's any sports romances on there, there's probably a reason it's over there and not over here. But generally, this is all the sports romances I have, which actually, to me, seems like a lot less than I thought. It's still a lot, I'm aware, but it's less than I thought. And technically it's not all of them because I do have some at school. But anyways, that's fine. So we have the first book in the group trilogy because I had 2 copies, so that one's here. Spoiler alert, the other ones are coming with me to school, so those are in the bin right now. But then I have the original covers of the Hoops trilogy, and then the current covers of the Hoops trilogy by Connie D. Ryan, and then the Kingmaker by Connie D. Ryan, and then I have the Windy City series by Liz Tomford, including my special edition of Caught Up. The Riverside Reaper series, I think is what it's called, by Celeste Byers. I do not remember what this series is called. The Rules of the Game series by Avery Keelan. I have the 2 books for that. The Forever and Always series, I think, or it's either Always and Forever series or Forever and Always, but Forever and Always sounds better, so I'm gonna go with that one. If it's not, I'm sorry. Oops, my bad. By Anna L. Moore, and then Trouble by Megan Hawley. And then we have Full Tilt and All In by Emma Scott, Dear Eva by, I want to say you pronounce it Isla Madden Mills, but I'm not exactly sure if that's right, so don't get mad at me if it's wrong. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me and From Luke Up With Love by Mariana Zapata. I know it's hard to see these, but you can see most of it, so it's fine. Night Shift by Annie Crown, Lights Out by Kayla James, and then First Down by Grace Riley, like the actual, like, published by Arteria, is that? I think it's Arteria, or Artria, how do you pronounce it? But then next to it, I have the cover-to-cover book box special edition versions of them, which if you guys want to see what these look like more up close and personal, I have a video on my Instagram. I think it's my most recent one, but I have that if you guys want to look at what it looks like, you know, closer up, not just casually the spine, because they have new covers, they have different, like, they have sprayed edges, like, it's very pretty. And then this book called Finally Home by Holly Crawford, and then I don't know what this series is called, the Candy Steiner series with, you know, Fair Catch, Blindside, all that. And then the Campus Game series by Stephanie Alves is here. And since I ended up having an open shelf, which part of the reason I made it the sports romance shelf, having the open shelf, was because I know myself and there will probably be a lot of sports romances that I buy in the future. But this shelf could change depending on what I need to maybe have more space. Or maybe like these 2 will be sports romances, but this one won't be, you know, we have to figure that out. But for right now, we have just some extra decor things that didn't fit on other shelves, like my dragon that I painted, and then my dagger, which is a real dagger. So I have to be careful with her because she actually could hurt me if I am not. But yeah, this is my 4th shelf, which I decided to make basically just a sports romance shelf. Okay, so now we are on to the last shelf for this video. Well, for this part of the video. We have the one in my apartment, but whatever. So as you can see, this is where my 4th wing stuff is in my Empyrean series. So I have my multitudes upon multitudes of editions of 4th Wing and Iron Flame, and soon Onyx Storm, because it comes out on Tuesday, and I am so excited. I will be waking up bright, shiny, and early to get in my car to drive over to Target to hopefully get that special edition thing that they have. But that is what this top shelf is, and I have my little spoiler alert, maybe if you haven't read the series yet, and if you haven't, well, just like double click and skip 20 seconds or something. But Baby Andarna, Taryn, and Scale, I have little replicas of them. And then this dinosaur that I crocheted, I just put him there because he looks cute, and I was like, why not? And then down here we have my Krista and Becca Ritchie shelf. Yes, I know, she's overflowing. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get more books by her, because I will be. I don't know, that is a later me issue to figure out. But I have the, how do I want to say? These are all technically original covers of the Addicted Calloway Sister series, plus the Bad Rep Duet. How do I say they're all original? Because they're all the indie published versions of them. They just have multiple different covers for even indie published versions. There are some missing from this side that are hard to find, like the original Addicted Calloway series are harder to find than these ones. But I'm working on collecting them all. I'm very close. I think I'm only missing like 3, so we're almost there. And then I have the cover to cover, oh wait, no, this was Eternal Embers, sorry. Eternal Embers, special editions of the Bad Rep Duet, Whatever It Takes, and Wherever You Are. And then Dishonestly Yours, I have a signed copy and a regular copy, so that is why I have 2 copies of that. And then this is character art from Dishonestly Yours. So that is my Krista and Becca Ritchie shelf. So now we are moving on to the last 3 shelves of this bookshelf. So we have this as my next shelf. This is my Lauren Asher shelf. So I just, for decor, I had this little P, so it's just there. Really, I don't know why I put this one there and not any other shelf or whatever, but it is. Ooh, maybe I should put it on the Penelope Douglas shelf, because P for Penelope. I might change that, but not sure. But I have my original, both the male covers and the discreet covers of the Dirty Air series. And then I have the new Bloom published ones with the race car on it, Dirty Air series. I have the Eternal Embers, I think it was, with Larry Reed's. I think that's who she did it with. Her edition of Redeemed, and then I did pre-order the other 3 books that they are doing it with, which is They're Out of the Collide and Wrecked. And then I have the Dreamland Billionaire series, and then the books that are currently out in the Lakefront Billionaire series, as well as my December Darling. So my Lauren Asher shelf is full. So when I get more books by her, and if it will happen this year at some point, I don't know what I'm going to do. I keep trying to think of like, well, maybe if I put it this way, but it still doesn't work, and I still don't have room. So I don't know. It's gonna be real fun to try to figure that out, but that is a later me issue. And I'll move this way, hopefully, so you guys can see a little bit better. And then we have my Chloe Walsh shelf, but really it's less about her. It's more this series. Because I literally know nothing about Chloe Walsh herself. I just like the series a lot. So this is my Boys of Tommen series shelf. So we have the original Binding, Keeping, Receiving, and Redeeming 6 collection. Then we have the current special editions by Bloom, that is the ombre spines. And then again, Larry Reed's and Eternal Embers did some books, and that is the Binding and Keeping 13 versions of those that I have. And then this little note that Larry wrote to everyone that got one of the boxes. And then this little tiny espresso cup. I don't know if espressos have like a specific name, but it's an espresso cup thing. I don't drink espresso, so I don't know. I don't even drink coffee, so like I don't know. But it's super cute, and it says cute but emotionally attached to fictional characters, which I am. And then it says good morrow, which Larry says a lot. So I thought it was super cute, and I know that this is Larry's like favorite series of all time, so I thought that it fit perfectly on the shelf with it. It's like dark romance slash books that just have black covers or spines that didn't have anywhere else to go. But most of it is dark romance. So we have the Mindfuck series, which is down here and starting with this little collection. Then we have the Rule Breakers like collection, which I haven't read that yet. And then we have Still Beating, and then we have Scars, A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, Birthday Kisses, Pack Darling, which is some duology. I actually have not read it because I just got it in my Probably Smut book box thing. I have no idea what it's about. If you guys do, please let me know, because I don't. My Probably Smut book box edition of Lights Out. And then we have The Sweetest Oblivion, The Maddest Obsession, and The Darkest Temptation. We have some cover-to-cover special editions that I have of different books. Black Ties and White Lies, another cover-to-cover special edition of a book. Sinner's Duet, Brittle Prince, I Need You to Hate Me, and the Vicious Lost Boys series is here at the end that I have to now find something heavy enough to slide in there to keep the books up, because my little rubber ducky that is flipping you off is not heavy enough. So I don't know what I'm gonna put there, but we'll figure that out. And then I have this character art that says Lift Your Hips that I'm pretty sure was from The Wallflower. I can't remember who that's by because I got it in my Probably Smut book box. I haven't read it, but I'm bringing it with me, so I don't know for sure who that was by, but I'm pretty sure that that's where this character art came from. But yeah, I thought that it was fitting for the dark romance shelf. But yeah, those are my shelves here at home. I have one shelf at school, and I probably won't have too much organization going on there just because it's like such a random collection of books that I'm having. But I will try to put some order to it, and I will try to have some decor on the shelf. But yeah, that is my end of my first like section of this bookshelf tour. Hey guys, so it is now the next day after I just filmed yesterday. I've finally gotten back to my apartment. I've gotten everything unpacked and put away. So I wanted to show you guys what my bookshelf here looks like and what books are on it. Again, if you want a more in-depth, well, not super in-depth, but if you want more information about what books I actually brought from home here versus what was already here, I will have that on my Instagram, as well as TikTok is now back for now. It will go away again, but for now it's there, so I will keep posting on that until I no longer can. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a update of where we are at. Since I know for me it's just like cut paste, but for you guys, I mean, for you guys it's just cut paste. For me it's like, you know, a different day, whatever. That's what we have for you guys today. Also, though I'm gonna have to move the camera, my bookshelf, which you can see here, is kind of in the corner with my nightstand and stuff, so it might be a little bit of a weird view, but my apartment is like big but small at the same time, which I know people say, oh, it's medium, but like it truly is like big for just me and my roommate, but it is also small compared to what I've seen other people have. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. Sorry, I'm really tired. I did so much yesterday, like driving all the way here, unpacking, setting it all up. Then I went grocery shopping this morning because I had to get groceries because we had no food in the apartment. And carrying all that up, and then I had to get a package that had our new like food containers in it because I had gotten some like cheap ones that like didn't last very long, so I wanted to get some more. But yeah, so that is what I have for this last half of the video. Okay, so like I said, it's a bit of a weird view, but I actually can just show you guys. So this is my nightstand. So this is like my like literally huge large bin of, basically it's a CVS slash Walgreens. Has all my medicines and things in it for when I could get sick, and like my first aid kit and things like that. And then I have this over here. You can't really see it. Now you can see it. I have like a heating pad that you can like wear, which I haven't tried yet. I got it for Christmas, so intrigued to see if that works. We have my Kindle holder thing so that, sorry, my hair keeps getting stuck in my earrings. So that I can put my Kindle in there and then lay in bed and not have to hold my Kindle. I know. I have found the way to be as lazy as I possibly could when I read. And you know what? I'm not mad about it. And then just like a bunch of like, you know, things like I have chapstick, I have like keys and things, tissue box, claw clip, the book that I'm currently reading, and then my Kindle underneath, which technically is also the book I'm currently reading because I always have a physical book and a Kindle book going. But yeah, that's like the nightstand. This bag just has miscellaneous things in it that I don't have space for right now, so it's just kind of sitting there. But let's get to the actual bookshelf. I'm gonna turn it a little bit more this way so that you guys can actually see me. So first, the top of the shelf, we have my like everyday calendar thing, like you like rip it off and there's like a new quote thing on it. And they're kind of supposed to be like sounding like they're inspirational, but they're also kind of like really depressing. It's supposed to be funny because I use a lot of humor when I'm trying to talk about dark things. Anyways, everyone I know does the same thing, so it's not unusual. And then we have my foam football that I've literally had since I swear to God I was born. Like, I swear that has just been in my house. I don't even know how long. But I eventually one day took it and it became mine, and I use it as decoration now because I love football. And then we have my Ohana. You can't really see it, but it's this. And it's Stitch, and I think it says Ohana means family, or maybe it just says Ohana, and I just know the saying is Ohana means family. But I love that. My dad got it for me for Christmas. I think it's really cute. And I love Stitch, so. And then I have my candle over there. I have 2 candles. I have that one, and then my birthday one that I think I showed you guys when I got my birthday book, which is right there. But yeah, just cute little decor on the up part, and then you can't see it because they're flat, but I have like bookmarks up there too. And then this is obviously the main shelf. It has most of the books on it. I thought I brought a lot, but apparently I didn't, but like the bin was heavy, so it felt like a lot. But books, I guess, are just gonna make you think you have a lot. I mean, they're like, no, we just weigh a lot. So I kind of just made it like the romance shelf at the top and then fantasy here at the bottom. And then I was like, I have 2 fantasy books and hopefully soon to be 3, because I am hoping, literally hoping and praying that I can get the special kind of edition of Onyx Storm that Target is having, where like you can't pre-order it, but it's a first print run and like you gotta go in and get it. When you guys are seeing this, because I'm hoping to get it up today, is tomorrow. And I'm literally waking up at like 7 so that I can get in my car and make sure that I get to Target before they open. And like, I need that book. So hopefully we'll be adding one down there. But then I realized it's only 2 books. Kind of feels weird to say like romance, fantasy. So for right now, this is just kind of fantasy and anything else. Like I have 1 book over there that is kind of like, it's still fiction if I know. Like if I read it correctly, it's still fiction, but like it feels like it could be a really real story. So I don't know exactly if we have, I'm trying to think, like it's not historical fiction, but it's still fiction. I don't know if we have like a subgenre of that, and I just can't think of it. But so just kind of everything else goes there. But like I said, this is all pretty much romance / has romance within it. So I put, it's kind of hard to see. Let me actually see if I can move. Ah, perfect. So I have my 2 like special editions from Cover to Cover that they sent me for free because I do want to read them. So I put those at the end to kind of like keep everything like, because they're like kind of heavy, so they can kind of keep everything together, as well as I just thought it looked cool to have them at the end than having all of them at the front. And then I have the Grip Trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. You guys knew this one was coming. I'm so excited. I will be reading this next month. Spoiler alert, my February TBR is already planned. It's very specifically themed, and I am so excited for it. And then I have Whistleblower by Kay Cove because I really want to read that, and I just feel like, not that like I don't read dark romances, I feel like I don't read that many, and I'm pretty sure it's a dark romance, and I just kind of want to get back into it because I did for a while read a lot and I enjoyed it. There are obviously going to be books of dark romance that I didn't like, but most of them I liked, so I kind of want to get back into that. And then we have The Wallflower, which again, haven't read yet. It's my probably smut edition. So I didn't even know this book existed until they sent it, and I was like, oh, okay, sounds great. So I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm excited to just kind of go in blind and see. And then I have Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is my non-signed edition. My signed one is at home. And then I have Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. Tell Me Lies by Corolla Lovering. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, but we're gonna go with that. And then The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Gravis Graves, which, fun fact, that book is actually set at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, which is where I go, so slay. And then, so I'm actually really excited to read that. I was supposed to read it last year, and I didn't. But you know what? I will read it before I graduate. I will tell you that right now. I will read it before I graduate. And if I don't, do I even deserve to graduate? I don't know. And then we have Normal People by Sally Rooney, because I started reading that probably like when I was like 16, and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Not that I thought it was boring, I just like, I don't know, I felt like I just wasn't able to connect with it. And then I was 16. Well, now I'm 20, and which, honestly, crazy, time flies. I'm like, wasn't I just 16? But I'm 20, and I have had a bit more life experience and stuff like that, and I love the show. I've loved the show since it came out. I literally, like, I watch it at least once a year, probably more than that. I can't help it, and I cry every time, even though I know what's coming. So I am braving it, and I am going to read that this year. I don't know if I'll be the same. I probably won't be, but we're gonna try. And then I also brought My Heart and Other Black Holes. I have not seen anyone talk about this. I saw it on Amazon, asked for it for Christmas, thought it was interesting / also extremely depressing. So hopefully won't be reading that and Normal People at the same time, because that would probably not go very well. And then we have The Love Wager, because I really liked Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and I wanted to get more into her more adult romances, because I wanted to see if I liked that writing with Lynn Painter, because I know some authors who do both YA and adult, and sometimes only one of them is really good per se. So I wanted to see if I actually like her adult writing style. And then we have A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner, which not that I haven't wanted to read it, it's just, it's been on my endless, you know, like I have an Excel sheet of all the books that I want to read. And so it's been on there for like years, and I just never have read it. But then I saw this girl that I follow on TikTok, and she does have a YouTube now. She also has a bookstagram. Her name's Rio, and I saw her reading it, and I was like, oh my god, like just the way she was raving about it, I was like, you know what, I need to get it, and I need to read it. So yes, I already broke my book buying ban thing that I had made at the beginning of the year, where I said I'm not gonna buy a book that I haven't read. Well, it's already broken, so guess what? Scotch that idea, because apparently I literally bought it, and like 5 minutes later was like, crap, like I should not have bought that. But did I cancel it? No, but it's fine. But I'm really excited, and hopefully it will be good. Rio rated it 5 stars, and she's usually liked a lot of the books I've liked, so I think it should be okay. But yeah. Then we have another probably Smut Book Box edition, which is the Icebound book right here. Again, all I know about it is that it's some sort of hockey romance. That's about it. But, you know, sign me up. So that is the next book that I had. And then I have the 50 Shades of Grey series, because I've still yet to read it. I just feel like, as a romance reader, not saying you have to read it, but I feel like I have to read it. Like, I just need to know. Because, like, not that the 50 Shades of Grey series started the romance genre, it didn't, but I feel like it was one of those things where, like, every few years there'd be, like, a book that would blow up that was, like, in the romance genre. Now we're having it happen way more often, but I feel like that kind of was what happened with that book at that time. And like everyone and their mother that I know has read it, including my own mother. So I'm like, I need to read this. I think even my dad read it. So like, I need to read this. What the fuck? And then we have Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus, who is the author of, oh, what is it called? It's a book series and a TV show now. Oh no, what is it called? It's like, oh, One of Us is Lying, which I watched the TV series, I never read the book. So if I like it, maybe I'll go read the books. But I had gotten that at Barnes, like I had gone to the checkout and was like purchasing, and they were like, oh, because you spent how much money or whatever, which I don't want to talk about it. Because you spend a certain amount of money, you get basically one of our monthly like book picks for like $5 if you want. And I was like, you know what, fine, why not? $5, I'll take it. So I got that one. And then, like I said, the other special edition that Cover to Cover sent me. So that is the like romance shelf, which obviously as I get more books, which probably will happen, and need to move down, this will also become a romance shelf. But for now, it's kind of my Zodiac book journal shelf. So I have my book journals over here as well as my Kindle treasure. So I have, let me show you. I have this reading journal, which I actually created myself. So if you want this one, you can actually go buy it. The link is always in my description on every video. I will make a certain amount of money off of it, but it's through Amazon. And I just like, I wanted something that was like simple and easy, because sometimes when I read a book, I'm just like not in the mood to like go into great detail on journaling it per se. Like I just want to move on to the next book per se. Like especially if it's a series, like I just want to keep reading. So for me, I was like, I want a book journal that's more simple. So this is what it looks like. And then these are what like the inside pages look like. So it's just like very quick and easy to like write in. So I wanted this one for books like that. But then I also have this book journal that I got from my book box, that I'm subscribed to, Probably Smut. And they send you this, the first box that you get this journal itself. And then every month you get pages to add into it, which these are what the pages look like. So there's a bit more detail on this. So when I'm feeling in the mood to be more detail, I'll use this one. And honestly, I probably will use both. Like even if I'm feeling more like detailed, I'll still end up putting it in this at some point and vice versa. It's just like in that moment to get it down. So I do have two, and I know everyone that I keep seeing is doing these like almost like what are they called? Scrapbook, like, you know, reading journals. And not that I don't think they're cute, I just don't think I would have the time and patience to like continue that for a full year. I just like, I got too many other things going on, so I would love to be able to do that, but for right now it is just going to be sticking with those two. But then we have my Scorpio little zodiac book, which basically just talks about what, you know, what it means to be a Scorpio. I'm not really like a big believer in zodiacs. I just think they're fun to look at and read. But then it also goes into each person that is a Scorpio, like their specific date. So like my birthday's November 4th. So like my specific date is in here and I can read about it. But yeah, I just think that it was really cool, and so I got it. And then this was the book I showed you guys in my Christmas book haul, which if you have not watched, you can go watch that. It's on my channel. That is like really specific to me. Like literally my name, my actual date of birth, like all of that stuff. And then I have this cute little dragon that my roommate got me for Christmas. It's a jelly cat. Yes, I know. What a slay. We love her. Shout out to Redeema. We love you, girly. And if you're watching this, you better give it a like, because I can come find you. I know where you live. It's across the hall. Anyways, so she got me that, so I thought it was a cute little addition to add. Especially because the fantasy shelf, which I will show you in a minute, is so bare that it just doesn't have room for it right now. But once the fantasy shelf gets bigger here, then I'll probably move her down. But now I moved down to this last shelf, which basically just has my vintage bookshelf edition of Clue, because I love Clue. And I think that was really cool. And then I have a Fate Inked in Blood, which I also got from Probably Smut book box, but I also have the like actual like edition that you can buy like anywhere. But that one's at my house and I want to annotate this one, so that's why I brought it with. And then I have Dragonfall. Those are the two fantasies. But then we have Don't Cry For Me by Daniel Black, and that is the one that I was talking about that's like more fiction. I'm pretty sure. I have not looked too much in depth to it, but what I've looked at, it doesn't seem like it's a real story, but it feels like it could definitely be a real story. And then my Switch just sits down here when I'm not using it. And that actually is what's in there. It's pretty much a bunch of chargers and like the dock to like hook it up to a TV or a computer or whatever. And then I have my extra water bottles that do not fit in our cupboards. are cabinets. I don't know if what I just said was a word. The cabinets, they don't fit in them. And then this cup that I got on campus. So that is my bookshelf. I would love to get another one at some point. I just, like I said, I just love books and shelves, and just it makes me feel homey. But I don't really think I would have space for another one, so I probably won't. I think the only thing I would do is maybe take this home and just get a taller one, but that would be about the only other option I would have, I think. So unfortunately, I think this is going to be the only bookshelf I have in this apartment. But I'm only here until I graduate, and I graduate in like 2 years. Yeah, oh my god. This semester, once I'm done, I'll be halfway through college. That's insane. Where has the time gone? Literally out the window, apparently. But yeah, that is my bookshelf from school. And then you guys saw my five? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, my 5 bookshelves at home. I can't even remember. So those are collectively all the bookshelves that I have with all the books that I own. Okay guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you guys are all having a great time. I'm sure everyone's back in school at this point. I'm sorry, I know, I'm not happy about it either. But I hope that you are all having a great start to your semester or quarter system or whatever you are on. Also, I think, okay, today is the 20th, right? I should have my February TBR up within the next week, and then I will hopefully post the January reading wrap up quickly after it, because now that I'm at my apartment and I have my desktop, which means I should be able to edit with no problems, should being the keyword. If I can't, I literally will just crawl into my bed and never come out. But I should be able to hopefully post more, which means I can then film more. So if you guys have any recommendations of videos that you guys are like, hey, I would love to see you do this, or recommendations for specific like tropes or books or whatever, you guys can leave those all down below in the comments. I will happily accommodate whatever you guys want. So I'm just looking at my calendar. Like I said, try once a week. I think for now, I'm not going to try to push it more than that, but I would like to get a video up exactly once a week. Or maybe like if I know a week's going to be busier, like 2 in 1 week and then skip a week, you know, trying to figure out exactly how to get it all up. But I will try my hardest. I know that some of you guys get antsy when I don't post, and I don't, and I'm sorry. But yeah, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram and TikTok so you guys don't miss any of my book content that I post, because not all of it comes out on YouTube. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.